Hello and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland radio show. See, I don't even know what the show's called anymore.
I knew you'd fuck it up.
Oh, fuck's it. It's what Danny does when I go to host the show. Oh, well, look, and then I'm fucking muting my YouTube either. Jesus Christ, it's falling apart already. Oh, should we start that again? It's a good thing it's not live, eh? Hello and welcome to ABW Radio. I'm your host, John. And with me tonight, as you've already heard, is the wonderful Danny. Danny, how are you?
I am still got a sore spot on my arse, but apart from that, I am tickety boo, and I have faith. That's what I've got, John. Faith.
I'm glad someone does, because according to Twitter, it's all gone wrong, and we need to get rid of him already.
39 games in, and he's finally got the final piece to the puzzle. And after 39 games, we should be winning the World Cup. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. Just a quick hello to who was first in the box today. Phil Macker. Well done, Phil Macker. I'm not going to shout out everyone else. You all know who you are. But thank you all for joining us, as always. So, Danny, shall we talk about the lineup? Because we played, at least in the first half, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. I don't know what you want to call it tonight, but we had four at the back. Were you excited?
It was different. It was that for me. Apart from us wasting shot after shot after shot, the most important and interesting thing for me was watching how the formations changed, because Party's there, and we at ABW refuse to make any party jokes about having a party. We're better than that. So I was really interested to see how it is working. So it looked to be Luiz and Gabby at the back two, with Party stuck in front of them. And then when we needed to, it'd be Xhaka coming from the left-hand side to cover, to make a back three, or Danny coming into the right-hand side. But then when we were attacking, it was two at the back, Party in the middle. And then we had, especially in the first half, we had Bellerin playing right wing, we had Saka playing left wing, almost playing five up front. And I'm thinking, wow, might have been doing that because they didn't have Vardy, because you're not going to commit five players up front when you've got Vardy, because he is going to come back and turn you inside out. So I think it was a little bit misleading, the fact that we were allowed to do those kind of tactics, because they had no one who was going to get us on the break, as we saw later on in the game. But it's really interesting and seeing who was slotting in. And also interesting when Mustafi came on, he slotted right into that same position. But yeah, that's second half nonsense. But yeah, I was really interested. What did you think about the tactics? Do you think it's got something we are going to use going forward, or think we're going to have to go back to the back five at any time?
No, I mean, I think he'll chop and change it depending on who we're playing. Maybe away from home against the sort of bigger teams, we might do the back five thing. But I was excited to see it. Want to see the three man in midfield. Was initially glad to see Ceballos look like the sort of furthest forward of the midfielders.
How long did that last?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Was pleased to see Saka get a start, because I think he's been playing really well and definitely deserves to be in the team. There's still a question mark for me about Lacazette, and I'm sure lots of people, as I saw on Twitter, will be again complaining that Aubameyang was not playing through the middle. But there we go. So I guess we'll jump straight into the disallowed goal, because that was less than a minute, something like that, wasn't it?
Third minute, I think it was. So it might have been in the second, but counted as the third.
Yeah. So disallowed for what looked like, I assume it was disallowed for Xhaka interfering or blocking the goalkeeper. Like, I have no idea what the rules are anymore in football. I don't know the handball rule anymore. I don't know the offside rule, because apparently VAR makes that up as it goes along. Although VAR didn't. Well, maybe it made some cock-ups tonight. I don't know what the rule is on red cards as well, because we've got to talk about that. But to me, it looked like Schmeichel moved away from Xhaka. No one else touched the ball, so there was no offside. And Lacazette, the one good thing he did all night was score a goal that was disallowed. Do you reckon there was anything wrong with that? I didn't see it myself. No,
absolutely nothing wrong. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I can indeed. Oh, look at this new technology, listeners. It's like being in the Sky Sports studio.
Here we go. Look at that. That is Alex from Twitch. He's one of my favourite Twitchers, and he's a Spurs fan, and he's a scumbag. But yeah, anyone who wants to be entertained at the weekend, go and watch the Alex family. It is a family of love. Hello, Alex. Now go away. So anyone watching and not watching and listening to this, we've got a screen grab of, you can see that Schmeichel's on the line about the safe distance of a metre-ish. To the left of him is Xhaka, and to the top right-hand corner, they're all looking, it's like a kind of spot the ball, John. So in the top right-hand corner, that's where the ball's coming in from. So Xhaka isn't offside. and Xhaka isn't in because he doesn't touch the ball, and he's not interfering with play because the ball comes in from the right-hand side. So how the hell is that? Have you got any idea?
Yeah, I do not understand it. I can understand when a player is like right on a keeper and stopping him from moving or anything else. But Xhaka stood in front of Schmeichel. The moment the ball's kicked, he moves. Schmeichel moves as well. He's going towards his near post because that's where the ball's coming in. There's definitely no offside. He doesn't touch it. If there is a hint of offside, then VAR should be checking that, and they can see clearly on VAR he doesn't touch the ball. So the only thing I can think they've given it as is him interfering with play in some way and the goalkeeper, which to me he doesn't. So I don't understand how that isn't given. It's not my biggest gripe in the game, and it's not the reason we lost the game. Don't get me wrong. If that goes in, yeah, it's a very different game because it's very early on, and then maybe we can get a second one early and see the game out a lot easier. But it just really weird decisions. I thought the referee tonight was bad, not just for us. He was bad for us, but he was bad for Leicester as well because there was an argument one of our players could have been sent off as well.
Oh, definitely should have.
Yeah,
the number of yellows. You look at that. If you didn't watch the game, you'd go, "Well, Leicester got 5 yellows and we got 3. Oh, that must have been a right old slobber knocker." No.
No, it wasn't like a nasty game. There weren't dirty challenges or anything like that. There was a few bad ones, but they were all basically mistimed. And I think that kind of was the story of the game. There was misplaced passes everywhere, mistimed tackles, people being out of position and things like that. And yeah, just really weird. But I did not get that disallowed goal. Made absolutely no sense. No, didn't even seem to check it. So I'm guessing you saw him touch his ear. So I'm guessing they said VAR doesn't need to check that. So who knows? And look at that. Petito 100 with donation. Thank you very much, Petito. We've been awful every game so far. We played 10 sideways passes, then 1 long ball upfield. Arteta should be called into the office to explain himself. Yeah, maybe. I know some people are getting very tired of playing out from the back and bit of tippy-tappy stuff, but we'll get on to that. I can't remember at what point this was, Danny. Now, was Fuchs booked before Lacazette's glorious chance, or was it afterwards?
Fuchs was booked in the 32nd minute, according to there, and Lacazette's chance. Which chance was that?
The awful how he did not head the ball, and I think it was I can't remember. It might have been Fofana or Mendy nearly kicked him in the face.
I think that was the 28th minute. I've put Luiz pings the ball around for fun. Great ball out wide to Tierney. He crosses it yet again, and Lacazette misses, and another corner. Was that the one? That was in the 28th minute. And the yellow card was in the 32nd minute.
Yeah, so the Lacazette miss. I'm not a fan of absolutely railing on players unless it's Mesut Ozil or Guendouzi, but that's a different story. But like Danny, if I put you there in front of you're in the 6-yard box. Tierney has been firing balls in all for the first 20-something minutes. Really, really good balls in. And all you've got to do is literally just walk into the ball. You could just close your eyes and just walk forward. He's literally got to go about 2 centimeters and it's going in. The fact that I think it was Mendy who tried to make the challenge, and I'm not sure if he got his footing a little bit wrong, it would have been an own goal. But he just completely misses the ball, doesn't even go for it, and I'm getting worried about Lacazette. If that goal isn't disallowed early on, then maybe his confidence is up and he plays and he has a really good game. But tonight I thought he looked sluggish. His passing wasn't there. His movement was slow. You saw players calling him out for not making the runs in the box. And that is if that was Giroud or even, let's go back to a really bad one, Shamak, they'd be getting slaughtered for it. They'd be getting absolutely slaughtered. And Lacazette, we're all aware he's a much better player than those guys. I mean, if we had Giroud tonight, he probably would have got a hat-trick, to be fair, the amount of balls he put in the box. But that's terrible, isn't it? He's got to do better there.
There's been quite a few of those. I mean, most of the first half was just us missing chance after chance, and I tweeted at half-time that we can't keep doing this because if we don't eventually score, they're going to... And other people were tweeting, Vardy's going to come on and score the winner. I mean, if they knew what was happening, Arteta should have known what was happening. But I think a lot of it has to come down to Aubameyang. I think that someone said he had a migraine and he had to take tablets. You saw him go off and take tablets. You're a man who's had migraines, aren't you? You don't really want to be headering the ball.
No, you don't. He had one headed chance in the first half, but he got under it a little bit. I thought Aubameyang looked a bit off tonight. He wasn't himself. I mean, playing from the right didn't help for the majority of the first half, but then him and Saka switched a bit. But that Lacazette chance is just. And the thing is, you know what he's like as well. The moment he doesn't get that, his head's down, he's cussing at himself, he's upset, he gets angry, and he just starts playing worse. And I think that was just the story of the game, because that first half, we had all the ball. David Luiz was playing like peak Maldini and pinging the ball about everywhere, and
that was a sight to see, wasn't it? And then to be able to do that, and some of those balls that he was pinging all over the pitch as soon as he went off, that kind of ruined the game for us. But Lacazette, is there such thing as a confidence player when you've been playing for the club that long? Are you one of the longest serving players? You've scored 3 goals in 3 starts this season, or is it just bad luck? But if you had to say, if you saw that and didn't know who did it, you'd probably have a guess that it was Lacazette, because sometimes he's just abysmal in front of goal. I've got all the time in the world for Lacazette, and although Chris can't tweet anything about it at the moment because
moment silence. If anyone's wondering where the pirate was all night, he wasn't hiding because Lacazette had a bad game. He's been momentarily banned from Twitter for a little bit because he was a naughty boy.
Because he doesn't listen, does he?
Yeah. Be careful what videos you retweet. That's all we'll say. It wasn't anything rude. It was just football, but he wasn't supposed to. There you go. You can get in trouble for that.
10 years he's been on and throwing it all away.
Terrible. I'm sure he'll be back because he's got to catch up on all the insults we've been throwing at him all night on Twitter.
We were saying how bad Lacazette was, but we all know Eddie isn't ready to be the main striker, and Aubameyang couldn't take over because he was ill. So, and I mean, maybe we should have brought Pepe on, but what I think what Arteta has done in the past would have been take Lacazette off, play Aubameyang in the forward role, and then put Pepe on the right. But he couldn't do that tonight because Aubameyang wasn't well. So maybe that's the only reason why Lacazette played. Did he play the entire game? Played the entire 90 minutes. Yeah,
played the full 90. I think if it looked like Saka picked up a knock or something, if he hadn't got a knock, then maybe Lacazette might have come off.
But he was carrying that knock for quite a while. I think I made a note of the 67th minute that he was hobbling around on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Should we talk about the Christian Fuchs challenge? That was on Lacazette. Red card for you? Sliding in from behind, out of control maybe of the challenge?
If the referees don't know, and the linesmen don't know, and the people on watching commentating don't know, and the people at Sky or BT, whichever scumbags charged people 15 quid for that game don't know, I don't know. It was hard, but I think maybe Lacazette made a little bit more out of it than he did. But also on Lacazette's side, he was getting a beating tonight, wasn't he? He was getting. I mean, the centre back that we nearly bought, what's his name?
Fofana.
No.
Johnny Evans.
That's it, big Johnny Evans. He gave him Johnny Evans was so intent on taking him out. He took out his own player at the same time. And you had Fuchs coming in doing that to him, and you had other people coming in and whacking him, and he was having no luck of it. No wonder that him and the entire team gave up after about 60 minutes, went, sorry, can't do it. Everyone batten down the hatches because we're not scoring tonight. No, we've tried everything and nothing is working. Well, do you think it was a red?
Again, it's not, I don't know what the ruling is because honestly, I don't understand what the ruling is because if that was, you could go through probably every Premier League team and pick a player from their team who's got like a reputation. So like if Xhaka made that challenge, it's probably a red card. Yeah. If you went to Man United and picked, I don't know, Matic, someone like that, they're probably going to get a red card for it. You know, you could probably go through.
Not that type of bloke.
No, not that type of bloke. Eric Dyer, maybe it's a red card. You see what I mean? So you could go through like every single club and probably pick a player and they go, oh, that one's a red card because it's him. No, maybe not. And it was still early in the game. I don't know. The thing that annoyed me is that the moment a player in their defence, they're playing that back three, he's coming out wide. I know Aubameyang's clearly had some sort of issue tonight. Just knock the ball past him or get Bellerin to run at him again because he was all night, especially in the first half. He's on a yellow card already. Make him commit and make another challenge and see if you can get him sent off. But yeah, we don't seem to do that well.
See Loki's comment.
What's Loki put? Hang on. Oh God, I've got to find it now. Is it near the bottom? I can't.
No, I highlighted it.
You highlighted it. Oh, my girlfriend has. Oh dear. Anyone not watching, Loki has just said, my girlfriend has had headaches. She still performs with more conviction. Well, congratulations to you, Loki. Well done. The weird thing is, it's one of those games where at the end of the first half, I was like, I'm gutted that we're not winning. We should have been in front. You know, we had a goal disallowed that shouldn't have been. Fuchs could have been sent off, might have been a little bit harsh, but there's an argument. It's one of those 50-50 toss-up things. But Lacazette definitely should have at least got one goal. He should have scored that one. I think the other chances we had, everything was Saka and Tierney, wasn't it, in that first half?
Yeah,
everything down the left. That left-hand side, their first touch I thought was brilliant. The balls into the box were really good. Saka I thought was having a really good game. Tierney again. And David Luiz it's probably one of the best games. I mean, defensively, he didn't have to do anything because Leicester had nothing going forwards. But just his ability on the ball, and they totally stood off him. He was just picking passes out everywhere, which I know people have got an issue with David Luiz and some of his defensive lapses, and he can lack concentration, but his ability on the ball is amazing. He was picking out, not just to the left-hand side, he was picking out Bellerin as well. He was making some really, really good runs in, and there was that one, there was a ball as well from Thomas Partey that put Bellerin in, and he brought it down. He just couldn't quite bring it under control. It would have been an amazing goal. Really, really nice run from the right-hand side. He got in behind Justin, I think it was. He was playing at wing-back for Leicester. But yeah, first half ends. We're 0-0. Should have been at least one up, probably. Not probably. Should have been two up, really. So come out for the second half. I'm still like, okay, it's not been the best game ever, but we've had a lot of the ball. We're creating chances. Lots of people were talking about our creativity problems. We had 12, 13 shots, I think, in the first half. I think there was only 2 or 3 on target. But we're actually doing something. We're making attempts. So it's looking a bit more promising. Ceballos is looking a little bit shaky, but it's his first game back. So I'm like, okay, we'll give him a little bit more time. Second half starts, and Leicester start to get more on the ball. Tielemans, Mendy, James Maddison as well start to come back into it. And then the second half really changes the moment. Well, we lose David Luiz within, a couple of minutes? I think it was in the... when did he go off? 49th minute, yeah. So we lost David Luiz, and then there's a really horrible stat that we didn't have a shot until the 85th minute, the moment David Luiz went off, as if David Luiz was the source of all our creativity that game, which is slightly worrying when it's your centre-back.
Well, when you've got the ability of him, it's like that saying, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Today was sometimes maybe good. And when you have got someone at the back pinging out the balls down to because Bellerin, I've never seen Bellerin get so far forward as he did in the first half. But when you know that bloke Luiz is going to ping it to the left, to the right, to the middle, everywhere, you can't be too careful. You can't try and attack too much because it's going to ping the ball away from you. But then, for him to go off and in the way that he did, the whole game plan, when our game plan was try and catch them on the break, their game plan was keep them busy for an hour, bring Vardy on, turn them inside out. I think Brendan Rodgers won Arteta 0 tonight. Yeah,
not just in the scoreline, but I think tactically as well. He managed to do it. He got a bit lucky, Brendan, because we didn't take our chances. But I understand people's frustration that we didn't create enough in midfield. And you would have thought that Ceballos, having 2 people behind him, having Xhaka and Partey behind him, would give him a bit more license. But you really didn't do it tonight, which is a little bit of a worry.
We've got a Leicester fan there. I like Leicester. I went to the old ground. I like Leicester, and I like Leicester to do well. I think you play nice football, nice club, nice fans.
Yeah, and even Brendan Rodgers, the smiley twat that he is. I don't mind him either. He's all right.
He is. I mean, see the big smile from him tonight.
I wouldn't mind having your James Maddison either. I'd certainly play him over Danny Ceballos.
And he's to have a shave because he's one of them people that grows a shit beard but refuses to not shave. That annoys me. We've got some new names in here. RD Holyfield. Arteta is a joke if he thinks Mustafi is a better player than Saliba.
Okay.
Well, I think there's a little bit more to Saliba than him just not being a good player and Mustafi being a better player, is it? That's not the case at all.
No, I think that's the whole, what happened. His mum died. Was it a few months back, wasn't it?
He's 19.
It's a lot to ask of a kid. Brand new country, he's away from his family. And they were obviously trying really hard to get him to go back to France for another season, which was, I think if his mum hadn't died, he probably would have come over and would have been okay. But you got to give the kid time. And as much as people hate Mustafi, and I'm not a big fan of his either, he was actually playing very, very well until his injury. Although we'll get to his part in the goal.
Hello, Kelly.
Oh, hello, Kelly. Long time no see. If anyone's not watching live, you're missing out because I've shaved my beard off. Actually, I didn't shave it off. I was so shocked by Vardy scoring, honestly, that it just fell out.
Oh, the watchers are making Thunder Road angry. 120 plus watching, only 13 likes. Show the show some love. Thumbs up are not match dependent. Good point there. Actually, I'm gonna bring up some of the annoying banners. My favourite one is the click the thumbs up, you scumbags. If that doesn't work, being nice. So last night, when did you shave your beard off?
It was last week. I wasn't quite clean shaven, almost. So it's slowly getting there. It's horrendous because I've now found out I've got extra chins that I thought were always there, but so it needs to grow back. Yeah. That's the trick. That's the trick, lads. If you don't already know, helps when you get over 30. Oh no, I can't believe I'm over 30. Jesus Christ, we've gone off the rails, Danny. Right?
That's what we do.
Get back to the game. The second half, not a lot happened, to be honest, until a certain Jamie Vardy came on. Our very own Simon was there at the game, tweeting away, and he said at the end of the first half, he went, "Lots of great balls into the box, no one getting onto them. Feels like the kind of game where a poacher would be great. If only Arsenal had a Jamie Vardy." I think he said something along those lines. They do have an Eddie Nketiah who's very good around the 6-yard box. Didn't happen, obviously. And then as the game went on, he went, "Feels like the sort of game where Jamie Vardy might come on and score the winner." And oh, Simon, how right you were. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the second half because it was garbage, but should we talk about the goal?
It's a very untypical kind of goal for Vardy. I mean, brilliant positioning, brilliant play, and it was Tielemans down the right-hand side. It was yet again. It was the Mahrez. The way Mahrez split the defence. Tielemans did the same thing. Split the midfield over the head of Xhaka. Xhaka's still there now. We've had Simon on the phone saying Xhaka's still there, looking at the pitch, looking up, looking around, going, "Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Xhaka, the game's over. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Xhaka, stop. The ball's gone over you." And then Mustafi tries to run with the bloke who's got the ball. And then Leno goes, "Mustafi, don't bother. I'll come and get the ball." Mustafi goes, "Okie dokie, boss." And Vardy goes, "Over here, son, give us the ball." And the Turkish bloke goes, "Here, have the ball." And Vardy goes, "Don't mind if I do. I've only got one leg. I haven't played a game in 3. It's the first game in 3 that I've actually played in. I'm going to tap that in the back of it. Good night, everybody." And signs a card. Get well soon for Arsenal's tactics.
Yeah. You could see it coming. The moment we were allowing Tielemans a lot of time on the ball in the first half, but there was no threat, so it didn't really matter because Barnes was, that kid Barnes is a winger and he's playing up front and didn't have a clue what he was doing because the amount of space that was in behind our defence, he just didn't know because he's not a striker. He doesn't know to run in behind or how to make those movements. But Vardy does, and so does Czech. So my issue with that goal is, so you've got Under pulled out right-hand side very high. Tierney's obviously pushed up. We lose the ball. Leicester turn it over, give it to Tielemans quick, and he sprays it out. Gabriel has now got the choice of, do I run out and cover and leave Vardy completely unmarked and hope Mustafi will get there? Bearing in mind that Gabriel has never played against Jamie Vardy. He might not have even ever seen him play football. I don't know how much he watched.
Or had to rely on Mustafi to do the right thing.
Yeah, or had to rely on Mustafi. But then you've also got Xhaka as well there, who could go out to Under, but he's not going to get there as quick as Gabriel. I think there's either Xhaka needs to tell Gabriel to stay and he goes. He's not going to get there as quick. And you have Leno just cover his front post. Or Xhaka has to run across towards Vardy and, I don't know, he's not going to catch him to just elbow him in the face or something. And just take one for the team and wipe him out. But yeah, just really poor defensively. Mustafi knew he weren't going to get there. And yeah, Under just puts a nice ball in. It's an absolute piece of piss for Vardy to just knock it in.
Other things we've got to remember, Gabriel doesn't speak English. So he'd have had Luiz next to him going in Portuguese. Ball. Vardy. El bastardo. That is Portuguese for watch out for Vardy, he's a bastard. And don't anyone tell me it's fucking not. I've seen the World Cup in Brazil. I'm fluent in the old Portuguese. So we didn't have that. And so normally he'd have been shouting at him, giving directions, because Luiz speaks English, Portuguese, probably speaks a bit of French after a few years at PSG. Maybe even speaks Spanish. I don't know what he does, but it was just like everyone says, you knew it was going to happen. Vardy's going to get us on the break. Mustafi has Mustafied. Leno has come rushing out of goal, which you don't need either. If you have the defender go to the striker or you have the goalie go and try and get it off him, you don't do both. And then that was just like when you're playing against me on FIFA, I'll always come rushing out of the goalkeeper, just tap it into your other striker, and he'll pop it in. Oh no! Look, Adam says Pepe is worse than Gervinho.
Ooh.
Adam also says Arteta out.
Oh, wow. Jeez, the Arteta out brigade has already started. Okay.
A couple of people moaning, RD Holyfield. Holly, not Hoyley. Fucking hell. Pepe is the worst 72 million ever spent on a player. And Neil Gillespie says, anyone else starting to worry about Pepe? I'm trying to be patient, but 70 million on a winger forward should be able to come on and influence the game. He got a bit angry at points, didn't he?
Yeah. Alan Bastard MP has just donated. Thank you very much. He says, an all-black coach once said, a champion team will beat a team of champions. Arteta, take note. All players speaking the same language would help. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure it does. I'm sure language issues have come up. There was actually, I think there was a moment tonight as well when Leicester players, I think it was Under and someone else, and neither of them knew who was going for the ball, and it just went out for a throw-in, and they just both stood there and looked at each other. So it's not just an Arsenal problem. It does happen to everyone. The only other real talking points in the game, because I know we moaned a little bit about the referee and the officials, Hector Bellerin probably should have been sent off, Danny.
Oh, my God. How often have we gone, well, if that happened to an Arsenal player, we'd have sent him off? Well, yeah, you should have fucking... What was most... Leicester City fans, I hold my hands up. We, as Arsenal fans, are very, very sorry that not only did he not get a second yellow, which he should have got, not only did you not get the free kick, did we get the throw-in?
I think we got the throw-in as well.
That's a triple whammy. He should have gone. You should have got a free kick or a throw-in. In fact, maybe the referee was made up for the fact that the original goal should have stood in the 3rd minute. He maybe had gone in and watched it and went, I've got to give these lads a break because I fucked up there. But wow.
I think the referee, even if you didn't see the game, Bellerin had been booked already, which was fine. And it was late on and the ball scrambled. It looks like 50-50. He's come sliding in at the last minute. He knows he's not going to get there. Tries to pull out. He's not going to. He's going to make contact with a player. I think it was Justin, their wing back. And Justin hurdles a tackle and falls. He could have left his legs in and made it look really bad, maybe got hit and taken a bit of an injury or a knock or something. But he didn't. He jumped over the tackle. And the referee almost signalled as if he dived, which made no sense whatsoever because Bellerin was never getting the ball.
No, he couldn't even blame the pitch, could he?
No.
It was just a shitly... I think the commentator said, oh, that's just mistimed. No, it wasn't mistimed. It was shit. Here we go. Dave says Arteta is just Benitez with a turtleneck. I think I might take that. And I couldn't call the next podcast that, could I?
No.
That's a great quote,
maybe in a year's time, if it's still going bad, you can start using those ones. Just make a note of that one. So yeah, and then that's it. Basically, we end up chasing the game. We throw on Nketiah as well. We sacrifice Tierney. Pepe's on. And we don't make anything. And actually, Leicester nearly ended up scoring another one because Vardy got in again and Mustafi just was not, his positioning was bad and couldn't keep up with him. And thankfully, Leno managed to get his head on it to block the shot. I don't want it to be all negative. So I just want to say a couple of good points on some of the players tonight because I thought some of our players were actually very good. David Luiz, before his injury, I know he didn't have to defend, but I thought his passing was excellent tonight. Full Premier League debut for Thomas Partey. I thought he was really good on the ball. He was very confident. He was always trying to be positive with it, trying to pass it forwards. He was getting in, making challenges, nicking it. When he was getting hassled on the ball, he kept the ball. He was strong, didn't lose it. It was nice to see someone that big in our midfield again who could actually move with the ball. I know Xhaka is a bit of a unit, but he's not the quickest. And I thought Saka, again, was excellent. Just that kid is absolute mustard. It's unbelievable that we managed to sign him on a contract because he seriously is going to be worth some big money if we do ever have to sell him. And Kieran Tierney again as well. I thought was really superb. Maybe a little nod for Gabriel as well. I thought he did well tonight. Again, first half they didn't have a lot to do our defence, but every time he got on the ball, like the way he passes the ball as well, he really hits it into players hard. And there was one he fired into Saka that Saka just took on the turn brilliantly and spun a player. But yeah, I'm disappointed, and I know everyone is. because we should have won that game. It was all there for us to win. And then second half, we really fell off, like big time. But I thought there was still some positives to take. And hopefully going forwards, back four is something we're going to see more of. Definitely. And a three-man midfield. Although I don't know exactly what the best... Look, Partey looked great, and I think he did his job really well. The question for me is who are the other two that play with him in there?
Not Xhaka. He's shown not to be it. There's plenty of we've got young players, and someone made a really good tweet. They said we paid a fortune for Pepe. We've got Willian in. We've got Nelson, a younger coming right winger, and we play Aubameyang on the right. I mean, what's that about? I mean, I know Arteta's 39 games into his management career, and everything is moving into place. We've got a fantastic left back coming. We've got a magnificent centre back coming, who just shows how good he is, how much the entire team trust him already. Everything is built out from the back from him when we build out from the back. We've got the man in midfield, the Partey, who sat there, like you were saying, pulling the strings, doing really well. A couple of rogue balls, but it's his first game in the Premier League, and all these things are all slowly coming together. And I've got patience for that. 39 games in. Klopp didn't do this overnight. Klopp's 5th year anniversary was last week. This is going to. We've got another the rest of this season and some of next season before everything starts to click into place. Because as we've all seen, you can't have a midfield two of Ceballos and Xhaka. That's not going to work. That's not going to work for any team. So we need to, hopefully in the January window, plus we can't keep bringing players in when the likes of Ozil and Pepe, Mustafi, Chambers, all of these players are still there and holding. I don't think any of those are players that Arteta wants. And we can't keep bringing in new players because all of these Kolasinac, all these players are on huge wages. We haven't got an infinite wages. Plus, they're not making money from gate receipts like we used to be. Yeah. All these things you've got to take into consideration, and we've got to go slowly. But you look at the positives, like you were saying, John, Partey, Gabriel, Saka, all these things. And if Aubameyang hadn't have been ill tonight, then maybe he could have taken Lacazette off because Lacazette was having a stinker. And these things, but I'm not bothered. It's going to take time. You don't go in from 0 to 39 games and spanking everyone on top of the league.
No, you're not going to fix everything in one transfer window. You also can't buy that many players for a squad in one transfer window and expect them to gel instantly. You know, it's going to take time. Like people are saying in the chat, we've got Martinelli to come back, which I think will be a big boost if he comes back. And if he's still as quick as he was, hopefully he's going to be fine because of his age. He should be all right. The exclusion of Nelson does seem a little bit odd at the moment, but, you know, that's something I'm sure there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is. And I know not everyone's hot on Willian, but I do think a player like him would have made a difference tonight. He's the sort of guy where you could have gone, you know what, I'm going to pull one of Xhaka or Ceballos, stick him on, let him just go wherever he wants, and he'll make something for you. I mean, the other thing as well is you've got to say, if Saka hadn't got the knocks that he started to get in the game, then maybe you could have brought him into midfield. Maybe you bring on Pepe or Nketiah and drop Lacazette, something like that. So it's a long process. And the midfield question, look, Partey's played one game with Ceballos and Xhaka. That's it. You know, he's been at the club 2 weeks. It's going to take time for everything to gel and settle into place because you could see a couple of times they were looking around at each other and not sure about the positioning. So it's a long road. You're not going to get it all fixed. It's disappointing because of, you know, all the other teams dropping points this weekend, and we could have taken advantage of that. But yeah, that was the game, really. It was basically us missing our chances and Vardy coming on to punish us.
You can sum it up with first half, 11 shots, 3 on target. Second half, 1 more shot, and that was on target. So we had 1 and 1 in the second half. Yeah. There you go.
So it is frustrating, but there you go. We do have a couple of questions from the chat. So I'll ask you one, Danny. One from Loki73. Have we got the Spanish Sam Allardyce as manager? Far too negative.
No, he's just being cautious. Things are going to work out slowly but surely. Give it time. 39 games, people. I keep saying it. We aren't going to be anywhere near the team that he wants overnight, and things are going to slowly fit into place. We're going to have good games. Look, we had 11 shots, 3 on target. When was the last time we did that in a half of football? Hardly ever. It's slowly coming together. Stop moaning. There's a Leicester fan saying, Vardy, we like Leicester. Well done, you won. You deserve to win because we took you for granted and you had a game plan and you won.
Yeah. I mean, I hope JC, I hope you're not right wing though. That's upsetting. Unless there's a player JC side right wing, that's fine. We don't like right wing people. Actually, no, we're not allowed to get into politics. We're not a political podcast. That's fine.
I voted Greens last election. What good has that done anyone?
Fucking waste, wasn't it? The Alex family asks, it's hard to gauge how other clubs fans feel. Where do you feel you're at the moment, bravado aside? I think Danny's answered that pretty much with where he feels the club is. I still like Arteta, and I don't have an issue with him. I think it's way early to pass judgment on him. I think he's going to get things wrong, and I think tonight there was a couple of things he got wrong. He didn't have a lot off the bench to call on, is the one thing I would say. I think if he had Nelson and maybe Willian on the bench, then maybe he's got a few different options. But the moment that basically you look, David Luiz goes off injured, that's not in the game plan, so he has to make a sub there. Saka's clearly got some knocks, and his plan maybe he was going to sub him anyway, but that might not have been in the game plan either. So you haven't got a lot else to do. And the fact that he's basically got Pepe, who I thought was really ineffective when he came on, although to be fair, in the second half, we didn't have the ball a lot, so it was he didn't really get a chance to do anything with it. And you've got basically Nketiah, that's it. You've got nothing else. Also, I know people have moaned about the whole creative midfielder thing, but we didn't have anyone else there to bring on. Like Saka's probably one of our most creative players. Willian wasn't on the bench. Joe Willock's not going to do it. Maitland-Niles isn't, and neither is Elneny. So you can only work with what you've got. But yeah, that's it. And speaking about Pepe, Danny, Neil Gillespie asks, anyone else starting to worry about Pepe? I'm trying to be patient, but a £70 million winger forward should be able to come on and influence a game.
I was worried about him. Me and Nick, when we did the show a couple of weeks ago, we said if you'd have bought, how much would you have happy of being spent? God, try and get those in the right order. How much would you have been happy spending on Pepe for the results that you've got from him so far? 20 million max.
Oh, I think that's harsh. I think if you think when we bought him, the way the market was, and he finished his first season with 10 goals and 10 assists, something like that, or maybe a bit higher on both those numbers. For a winger, that's not a bad return. So 35 maybe 40. Certainly not the 72 million. Now, it's not Pepe's fault he cost that much. That's someone else someone who's no longer at the club, probably his fault. So I don't blame him for his price tag. But also we bought a guy who was really good in a team that sat back and then broke on people, which is not what we do. We're a team that generally, especially now under Arteta, tries to keep the possession and then transition as quickly as we can, whereas Pepe is used to basically just being one of the last men up front and getting the ball knocked up and running into space. I think him coming off the bench is fine, and probably Arteta's plan tonight was, okay, Leicester are going to play a little bit, maybe they'll sit defensively at first because Vardy's not starting. If we can get the goal as the game goes on, they've got to push higher up the pitch. You can bring on Pepe to space in behind to exploit. That obviously doesn't work. But yeah, his return at the moment is not good enough. I'm not convinced that Arteta is his biggest fan, personally. He's got all the ability in the world. You can see it. He's great. He's great with the ball and everything else, but he just annoys the hell out of me because you just want to see him knock it past the player and just run after him. There was a video that came up the other day, and it was Henry. Oh God, it was the Real Madrid game when we got to the final. Remember, we're 1-0 up at Madrid, and there's a bit in like the 94th minute, and Henry gets the ball like inside our half. There's 3 Madrid players, and he just kicks it into the corner flag because he knows he can get there first. So just kicks it past the player, just runs into it, runs it into the corner flag, waits for it. 2 players come in to tackle, just jumps over both the tackles, just holds the ball there. Pepe's quick enough; he could just knock the ball past the player, and why he doesn't do it more is really frustrating. But I don't know. I think you've got to wait this season and see what it is his return. But I don't think you're never going to get the return you want for that money that we've had to pay for him. No way.
There's some weird names going on here. I'm going to get this right. Kanyul Gurung says, there is no element of surprise with this Arteta ball. Managers know what to expect. There's an element of truth there, isn't there? I mean, Brendan Rodgers definitely knew what to expect tonight and played him for a fool.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think you could say that about Liverpool. You could say that about Man City, Man United to an extent. Teams have a clear way of playing. It's whether the players on the pitch can execute what the manager wants. And the way that we are trying to play under Arteta is very similar to City. The problem is we don't have the same quality of players. And you can see even City at the moment are struggling when, they've lost David Silva, Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne aren't quite playing the same that they were. It's got to be much quicker passing. It's got to be really incisive, and it's got to be super fucking accurate. And if you mess any of that up, you're going to get caught out. And that's what happened to us tonight. We were just too slow. We didn't move the ball quick enough. And even when we did create the chances, if you don't take them, then that's it. They're the big differences. The speed at which you play and taking the chances. If you watch the Man City game and Aguero's on the end of one of those chances, bang, it's a goal. You know it's going in. Immediately they get the goal, it forces the other team out. You make up more space. You can then exploit that because you've got better players. And we didn't do that tonight. And that's the problem. We didn't take our chances, and it's frustrating. But like you said, it's a long process. You can't fix everything in one window. I don't care who the manager is. You could have, for me, Pepe is still the best manager in the world. You could have him. You could have Klopp. You're not going to fix it straight away. You could have Jurgen Klopp come in and manage his team now. He's not going to win you the league. It doesn't make any difference. It's going to take a long time to change the squad around and to get things fixed. Julian Salmondo asked, do you think... Oh, sorry, Salmon, not Salmondo. Jesus.
I think Julian might well prefer Salmondo.
Well, there you go, Salmondo. There you go. Do you think Arteta is missing these drinks breaks? Last season, he definitely used them to his advantage to get his points across when we were struggling.
He does like to have a drinks break and a tactical shout, doesn't he? That's a good point. So maybe we should bring them back.
Yeah, I mean, it would have broke up the monotony a little bit. I do think that sometimes he has got that little bit of pep in him that does worry me, that he overcomplicates things sometimes, with the fullbacks coming into centre midfield and centre backs going wide and all those weird sort of things that Pep does. When it works, it's amazing. You're like, Jesus, this is the best football I've ever seen in my life. When it doesn't, you think, what on earth is that moron doing? Why is Mustafi playing at right wing back and all weird stuff like that? So I do think there is a certain amount of, you're going to have to accept that there are going to be games this season that Arsenal are going to get horribly wrong, just because that's the way he wants to play, and that the players clearly believe in him and believe in the way that they want to play. So you just got to accept it and move on with it. And just quickly, I'm going to say this as well now, because thankfully we haven't actually had a question about it. But if anyone starts moaning about Ozil, honestly, bore off. It's the most pointless conversation I've ever had in my life. Why are you even moaning about it? What's the point? Because what's
it going to do?
You can't pick him until January if he wants to put him in the squad. That's it. So there is 0 point in fucking, in talking about Mesut Ozil, honestly. If you want to go like some entertainment, go watch his Twitter feed. Personally, I've muted him because I find it really...
I blocked him.
We've
had a Prime sub from Hollywood AFC. Thank you very much for that. That's $2.50 going down. You can have it down your pants, John.
Oh, lovely. Oh,
yes,
someone can come up to the stage with it in the teeth and put it in their knickers or whatever it is. I don't know what people do in strip clubs. I've just heard that's a rumour.
Nice. You've been banned from most of them in a 100-mile radius of where you are. But on that point of saying this is going to happen more times or not this season, when you look at the facts that we've lost 3 games this season, Man City are below us, Spurs are below us, Man United are below us, and other teams that have spent lots of money, they're all below us. I mean, some teams have got games in hand, like the Scum. If you're watching, Alex, the Scum are probably who've the Scum got at the weekend. The next game is, it doesn't show me on here. Okay, this one. They are away at Burnley. There's a fair chance Spurs are going to win that and go above us. So,
but I mean, I think
we're not the only team doing bad, and they've spent more money, had managers there longer. I mean, look at Chelsea. They're horrendous. I went very high pitched then. They're horrendous, John, aren't they?
They are, like formerly knows us as in the chat, Klopp got it wrong a lot at the start, and lots of people mocking him. There was a game, I can't remember who it was again, it might have been like West Brom or something, and they came back from 1-0 down to get a draw in the last minute, and all the players were celebrating and cheering, and they got ripped to pieces for it. But it's because the players are backing the manager and believe in the system, and they know it's going to get there. So
Avon says,
go with that.
real Arsenal fans block Ozil. I've blocked him. and Nick says, my dad says Ozil should play. Julian Salmondo, lol, I'm not Spanish.
No,
there's lots of new people in here. There's someone called Volkan Aydin says, fuck England.
I agree as well. I don't like England either.
No, fuck Gareth Southgate. Fuck all of them.
I cheer Italy most of the time.
Alex.
You know what it is? I'm wondering if our signing of Thomas Partey has brought us more listeners. It could be. It is party time in Ghana. It's Ghana, isn't it? He plays for. I probably got that horribly wrong.
Best player, best Ghanaian player since the last best Ghanaian player. I used to watch the African Cup of Nations, but I haven't watched it in ages because we used to have a rich heritage of Arsenal players who played there, but we've not had many recently. Now we've got Pepe. Is Pepe played for them? Is he the Ivorian?
He plays the Ivory Coast, yeah.
And we've got Partey, who is Ghanaian.
Partey, and we've got El Neni, obviously.
Oh, the Egyptian prince.
The Egyptian prince himself. Maybe he could have found the cutting straight through ball tonight. Like he
could have done. Although our Femi was saying, why do we need El Neni or Maitland-Niles or Willock on the bench? I think you could have played all of those tonight and they'd have done all right. Yeah,
that's true. That's one of those you could have swapped out for a Nelson or Willian or something. But maybe they had a knock. Who knows? Right, shall we wrap this up? Hang on. Yep. They've got one more question I'll take from An2351. How many games do we have to wait before we consider Arteta has had enough time to figure out his best team and formation? Come on, Danny.
100.
100 games, you reckon?
Yes.
It's 10,000 hours, isn't it? You have to do something until you're a master.
That's bullshit. We've had people, experts on with the Rogan, and they told the Rogan that's nonsense.
Oh.
Which probably explains why we're still shit at this, because we've been doing it for the 10,000 hours.
That is a very good point. Oh, dear. Yeah, so, I don't know. 10,000 hours. There you go. He's got to have 10,000 hours worth of games. I don't know what that is. Someone do quick maths. 90 minutes a game, whatever it is. I don't know.
I would ask my listening device, but I think it's busy listening to everything I've ever said.
Should we pretend I'm smart and I'm not typing it in on a calculator?
Yeah. So I'm just going to... How many thumbs up have we got? Thunder's going to be 39 thumbs up, and there's 250,000 of you watching here.
There you go. Danny, you weren't far off. It's actually 111.1 games. There you go.
Maybe I knew.
How smart is Danny?
Maybe this is pre-recorded, and that's how I knew.
And
we've got lots of new people here. We've got Kiamet B, Awful Tactics again. Jermaine Postlethwaite. I'd like to see someone from Portugal say Postlethwaite or like Leicestershire. There's a lot of new people we've got here. Ravinder Chahal says, "Fucking hell, that was awful." I think I think Ravinder. I think we should close the show on that thought, John.
That was good. I was going to sing a song tonight if we won. I had loads of different Thomas Partey songs, but I've got nothing now. So
we're better than that. Yeah. Well, we're not.
No, we're not. So thank you, Danny, for being my co-host. I don't even know what the words are. Guest. There we go on tonight's show. Well, thank you, John, and thank you, Hollywood AFC, for giving us a Prime subscription. And I don't think this is going to let me go all the way back. Petito 100. Because we know Petito. And who was the other person who gave us some money? Alan Bastard MP. Sir Alan Bastard MP, your loyal greatness. So, thank you very much people for those donations. We didn't do it at the start, but we are on Twitch as well. And are we on Facebook? Yeah, we're on the Book of the Face and all that stuff. Not you shouldn't use Facebook, but we are on there. But yeah, so we can catch us on all the things and all the streaming media stuff. I used to know what I was talking about on these shows, but I haven't got a clue anymore. Oh, we should say hello to Daytac LBC as Thunder says it's a new era, post Jason era, because he banned her. She's allowed back, so welcome back, Data. Yeah, good to have you back. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining. As always, I know there's like a million of these shows going on now, so you can pick and choose whoever you want, but you come and choose to watch us. It's very nice of you. But don't forget, smash the thumbs up button before you go, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and then you'll be notified whenever we go live. And if you want to follow us on other platforms, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, SoundCloud, iTunes, Instagram, all the things, all the social media things that are terrible for your brain, but we're all on all of them.
But you can't follow Chris on Twitter anymore.
No, you can't follow Chris anymore. He will be back at some point now. The silly pirate. That's the perfect way to end it, Danny. Turn this shit off.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye-bye.